Yes, good afternoon to all of you. Hope you guys are safe and well and secured, staying at home during this extended lockdown. Welcome to the breakout session and discussion with Lensing Indonesia entitled The Future of Sustainable Fashion and Circular Economy. I'm Dino Augusto. I will be your moderator and host for today. So stay with me. On this occasion, Tencel, a natural fiber from Lensing, Lucky Tex, H&M Indonesia, and Nicole and Patricia Molina will share with you the views and thoughts about sustainable fashion, the trend, and what is actually currently happening, as well as the future goals to continue to run the circular, sustainable businesses. Before we start, I would like to introduce you to the agenda for today. So there's a breakout session, there's a presentation, which is the first one coming from Mr. Winston A. Mulyadi, Head Commercial Textile, Southeast Asia and Oceania of Lensing. The second is a presentation from Mrs. Sarlita, Marketing Manager of Lucky Tex. The third, which is coming from Mrs. Karina Sugarda, Communications and Sustainability Manager of H&M Indonesia. And the fourth presentation coming from Ms. Nicolene Patricia Molina, as we all know, photographer and founder of NPM Photography, creative director of Lanivati. And the last section, you can join me, you can talk to me, you can have a discussion with us in the open session, Q&A, and discussion. But before we start, I would like to invite Mr. Farian Yovantra, Head Programs at Green Nation Foundation as representative of ICEF. For Mr. Rian, sustainability and resilience always has been the subject of interest for study, where he believes that resilience is a key component of reinforcing sustainable efforts. He joined the Green Nation Foundation in 2019 and currently as head of programs. In his supporting interests, he has presented his research about nuclear energy and sustainable development in Burgos, Spain in 2014, and another research about improvement of Jakarta city resilience and sustainability through e-government in Barcelona, Spain, 2017. He graduated in honors from Indonesia Defense University and master degree in defense management. Here is Mr. Fahrian Yovantra to give an opening remarks.
Dear speakers, moderator, participants, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Green Nation Foundation, it is an honor to welcome you to today's thematic session, The Future of Sustainable Fashion in Circular Economy, organized by Lensing. Each year, millions of tons of clothes are produced, worn, and thrown away. Every second, the equivalent of a rubbish truckload of clothes is burned or buried in landfill. The fashion industry is one of the major contributors of plastic microfibers entering our oceans. To solve the problem, we must help fashion to reinvent itself. In the Indonesian context, the textile sector plays an important role. According to the report of the Economic, Social, and Environmental Benefits of Circular Economy published by the Ministry of National Development Planning, or Bappenas, the sector employs an estimated 4.2 million people. There are 197 registered garment companies and 78% of their workers are women. The value of garment exports of Indonesia in 2017 was $12.4 billion US. Indonesia is also among the top 10 textile producing nations in the world and is the 12th largest textile and apparel exporter. However, the sector is also a major contributor to waste and pollution, particularly due to the increasing global demand for fast fashion goods and related mass production of low-cost garments. Based on the analysis, Indonesia produced close to 2.3 million tons of textile waste in 2019. Furthermore, based on data published by the Ministry of Environment and Forestry, 12% of all household and household-related waste is recycled in Indonesia. Assuming that this rate also applies to the textile waste, only 0.3 million tons of textile waste is recycled in Indonesia. In contrast, nearly 2 million tons of waste is landfilled or incinerated. Drivers for the incineration of pre-consumer textile waste are the contracts developed by garment brands, which treats textile designs as their intellectual property right and incentivize textile factories to burn unwanted textile products. To solve the problem, we must help fashion to reinvent itself. In this opportunity, we will discuss exactly the matter at hand. As Lensing, Lucky Tex, Lanivati, and H&M Indonesia are one of the leading practitioners of the circular fashion, we invite everyone to actively participate in this session. Without further ado, let us begin, and I wish everyone a fruitful discussion. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Rian. Before we begin, I would like to break the ice and ask you one thing. Do you ever think about what happened behind the making of your clothes that you are wearing now? Or anything behind the textile industry? Do you ever think that what happened in the background? Because maybe for me, it's only a few of us that spend much time reflecting on what goes into the manufacturing about various numbers of textile, such as the clothes you wear, the bed sheets you sleep in, and let's say, how much carbon do you produce are emitting? And what are the environmental impacts behind the production? Let me set a few facts and figures before we start anything. Let's sit into a perspective what we are talking about today to get an understanding on how we need more mindful about the sources of textile that we are using. Research from Greener Innovation shows that more than 100 billion garments are produced every year, and 15% of the materials produced processed to waste. 15% out of 100 billion garments, it's huge. 60% of global fiber consumption consists of synthetic fibers and petroleum particles, such as polyester and synthetic fiber. 60% of global fiber consumption, which is going to all synthetics. 4% of waste worldwide is produced by clothing and textile products. And only by 6.6% of global fiber consumption is wooden base or cellulose fiber or natural fiber. So it's only 6.6%, which is natural. So in this facts in mind, it really shows how sustainable fashion is not about only a trend. It will fade into good stories, greenwashing, green brands, but it's actually a fight to save our mother nature. Everyone takes part. Corporations are challenged into showing their plan and committed to deliver their goods and services in a sustainable manner. We know everyone is fully sustainable, and circular cooperation is not just about the materials what we are using, but also the impact and the cost of the environment and your stakeholders. I think before we moved into another perspective or another view, let us listen to this explanation from sustainable materials producer and circular economy and fashion industry. I would like to invite Mr. Winston Mulyadi, Head of Commercial Textile, Southeast Asia and Oceania of Lensing, to start with his presentation. Mr. Winston, are you safe and healthy and secure?
Thank you, Dino, for the introduction.
Yes.
We are healthy, we are safe. Thank you very much. We are joining from home.
Okay. Yes. So, Mr. Winston from Lensing, the time and place is yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. My name is Winston Mulyadi. As Commercial Head of Southeast Asia and Oceania region from Lensing Group. Together here with all the our supply chain partner, with all the panelists here, we will share with you our insight about the future sustainable fashion from our perspective. Then, next one, please. So the world of fashion industry has offered us so many choices there. So from different segment, different brands, different style. However, there is one thing in common. Next one. So we have one thing in common, which is environmental concern. So Dino has explained about this a little bit in the beginning. Some of the example of those environmental concerns are, next. So we have garments in landfill. So 73% of clothing, post-consumer garments are end up in landfill. Next. We have also water problem. 1.5 trillion liters of water are being used for the fashion industry itself, whereas on the other side, 750 million people worldwide has difficulty to access drink water. Next one, and also we have this water problem where around 20% of industrial water pollution comes from garment manufacturing. So here, based on these facts and below background, let me give you a short video about what our company is doing, who is Lensing, and have a look this short video.
Big ideas can start in small places. In Austria, more than 80 years ago, Lensing began their journey of innovation. Today, Lensing stands for an ecologically responsible production of specialty fibers made for the growing need of sustainable solutions in the world. Lensing fibers are used in a variety of textile applications and are also perfectly suitable for hygiene products, cosmetics, and agricultural applications. The way from the forest to the fiber involves several production steps. At Lensing, each fiber is made of cellulose, the core component of all plants on Earth. Our source material wood is perfectly renewable. Trees regrow, feeding on sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide from our atmosphere, all important factors in creating cellulose. Lensing procures wood only from certified sustainable forestry and plantations because we know about the significance of healthy forests as the most important CO2 storage for our climate. In our biorefineries, entire logs are first debarked and hacked into wood chips about the size of postage stamps. The cellulosic component, which represents roughly 40%, is separated and processed into flake or sheet pulp, which is later churned into fibers. All other components of the valuable source material are used to produce bio-based products for the food or pharmaceutical industries and bioenergy for the supply of our plants. Lensing is the only company in the world which is able to produce significant volumes of all three cellulosic fiber generations: viscose, modal, and lyocell fibers. The lyocell production technology is the most modern process. The underlying idea is to dissolve and process the pulp in a closed loop without any chemical derivatization. The honey-like solution resulting from dissolving the pulp is pumped through spinnerets with microfine nozzles. The fibers are spun into continuous strands of filaments. These pass to a finishing area and are treated further depending on future use until they are finally cut into staple fibers and baled for shipping to fabric mills. In addition to wood, Lensing is able to use recycled materials in order to produce lyocell fibers. An estimated 50 million tons of used clothing is disposed every year, with an upward trend. With their Refibra technology, Lensing supports new solutions to advance circularity in the fashion industry. At the end of their life cycle, Lensing fibers re-enter the ecosystem, preparing the ground on which new plants grow, a characteristic of cellulose which helps to eliminate plastic waste. Lensing's business model goes far beyond that of a pure raw material producer. At Lensing, we look beyond fiber to the needs of our partners, the needs of consumers, and not least, the needs of our planet. This is the only way we can continue to improve the quality of our products, develop new applications, and at the same time, take responsibility towards future generations.
So yeah, thank you. That is a short video about Lensing. So we are a global wood-based cellulosic fiber producer with origin from Austria. And Lensing is only sourcing our raw material, which is pulp, wood pulp. And those woods are coming only from a certified supplier, so from responsible supplier, and all of those wood are either certified with FSC or PEFC. So here, Lensing is only producing fiber, Once again, we are only producing fiber, where from fiber itself, it can be used for different kind of applications, such as in textile for clothing, in non-woven for hygiene product, and also in industrial segment for example, for filtration application. Next one, please. To simplify it, we have four product brands. So we have Tencel and Ecovero for textile application. We have VioCell for non-woven application, and we have Lensing for industrial application there. Next one, please. So here, this is a short overview of our textile supply chains in this case. And here we are also working with different kind of supply chains partner. For example, here part of our webinar is coming from Lukitech, where they are the one who develop and produce from yarn until fabric, so from spinning until knit or weaving or dyeing finishing. Then also we are also collaborating here with retails and brands. Here already also join us in the webinar from H&M and also Lanifati. So all of those are our collaboration partner along the supply chains. And here, without those partners, we won't be able to work alone and having this webinar today. So next one, please. So here we remember earlier about the how deep is the impact of fashion industries to our environment. So let me remind you again, like 73% of post-consumer garments are end up in landfill. So here in this topic, or in this case, we would like to introduce you our fiber Tencel with Refibra technology. So if the conventional Tencel fiber production is coming from, you see, from wood to wood chip to pulp, and then become fiber. Here with our latest Refibra technology, we are adding 30% of pre-consumer waste, pre-consumer garment, here in this case, into our lyocell production. And the output itself, next one please. So here, let me repeat again. So with our Refibra technology, we are adding 30% of pre-consumer garment waste. For you see the sample of t-shirt there, and put it into our fiber production process, and the output is the fresh Tencel fiber for different kind of textile application. Next one, please. Here we are making a baby step. Next. So here we are starting with 30% of recycled raw material content here into our production, and then gradually within 5 years time we will increase our recycled raw material content into our production. This will be our baby step, our first step into what we call it circular economy. So next one, please. And here another development from us. It is before I enter, let me share with you this kind of video. Yeah, okay, that is a short video or introduction about our latest fiber, which is recently launched in last year. So here, our commitment is turned into real action. Lansing is working with NGO and United Nations to set a clear target and commitment to reduce our CO2 emission by 50% in 2030. And going further, we are even setting a target to achieve net zero emission by 2050. And we are proudly here to introduce what we call it an tensile carbon zero fiber. Next one. Here to achieve our ambition of net zero emission by 2050, we have developed three-step approach. So first one is reduce, engage, and offset. So reduce here means that we will reduce our carbon emission through more efficient products, a production method using renewable energy, and also using new technology. Engage, we are asking our supplier, our customer, our partner also to source raw material with low carbon footprint, so they will all reduce overall the carbon emission. And offset, we are also supporting various global carbon reduction projects for those unavoidable carbon emission. So next one, please. So all good, all nice, but then what happens still to those garments after being used by us? There here in this case, what are the benefits for the brands and retailers here on? And more important to answer the question is that what are the benefits for us as consumer in this case? So here is a little bit of some reflections. So have we ever wondered what happened to those old t-shirt or old dress that we are not using anymore? Maybe we will send it to a recycle station, we will throw it away, or we will upcycle it again for other use. However, whatever your answer to that question, most probably majority of those post-consumer garment waste will end up in landfill. So here, Lansing is trying to give you a solution, an alternative. So there can be a solution that can give us a peace of mind for us as consumer that whatever we use will be not harming our environmental. So here is next one, please. So here is the answer: fiber from Lansing, derived from nature, return to nature. All specialty fiber from Lansing are certified with compostable and biodegradable in different kind of condition, and this has been certified by international organizations body TÜV Austria. So what does it mean? It means for us as a consumer, a piece of garment which is made from 100% Lansing fiber, it will biodegrade and compostable within 12 and 22nd weeks. So next one, please. For those of you still wondering what kind of application can be used from our fiber, then, so here is some ideas for you to which I can share with you. Next one. This is from outerwear application. Next, to footwear, shoes, and also until denim. Next, can be also used for innerwear and loungewear. Next, and activewear, home textile also, such as carpet, bed linen, and towel. So next one. Here, yeah, as a raw material producer, we are surely unable to walk alone. And that's why here we are constantly looking for a mutual partnership and also interesting collaboration. So next, here is some example of our collaboration with fashion designer around the globe, from Paris to New York, from Mumbai to Tokyo, and all of those are our support for the fashion designer. We are supporting them from the back. We are providing them with the raw material here, and watching them grow, and also watching them launch their collection on runways. Next. Runways won't be possible without the support from fabric supplier. Here, as from Lukitech, as our local fabric supplier in Indonesia, who has been supporting us and providing to more than 17 brands with sustainable fabric made from tencel fiber. So you name it, from H&M, from Kala the Label, from Cotton Ink, and also Color Symphony, which is the house brand from Lukitech. Next one. Here also a video campaign from H&M taken in New York at the Times Square, where when they launched their spring-summer collection, and those collection are also made from tencel fiber. So next. Our last collaboration before the pandemics, it was from with Lani Fati, where she presented 40 looks, and the event was attended with 80s VIPs and 30s media. And also here, those event is being covered by reputable magazines such as Bazaar and Peddler. So next one. And you might think, okay, nice, but how you can find us on the garment? So next, look for the tag. So here is an example that whenever you want to purchase a garment, look for this tencel tag, and that is your guarantee that those garment is made from genuine tencel fiber. Next, if you want to look for if you want to look for further information, just have a look into our website, tencel.com, and you may also visit our Instagram account to look for collaboration with us at tencel_Indonesia. So next, we would like also to invite you also to join our global Make It Feel Right campaign. This is our global campaign where we will plant one tree for whatever video posting that you put into your social media, and you mention the hashtag Make It Feel Right, and we will plant a tree for you in this case then. And if you look for further information, just have a look into makeitfeelright.com. So next. And yeah, I think this will be my last slide for this presentation. I hand over back now to Dino. Over to you, Dino.
Yes, thank you so much. It was such a complete and amazing presentation, Pat. Thank you so much. To echo what you mentioned just now, Lensing always strive to be the forefront of the drive to sustainable fashion in Indonesia. I think I remember reduce, engage, and offset. I think that's something different for big corporation and big producer. Yeah, but the other way around, customer demand, in my opinion, also plays an important role to change the whole industry to become more sustainable. I am very, very intrigued with what Tencel just mentioned, Carbon Zero campaign, which is because of the purchase of the clothing of the fabric came from Tencel materials, you somehow contribute to reduce the climate change. Also, their vision to reduce specific carbon emissions by 50% in 2030 and become net zero by 2050. It was super amazing, but it's a huge commitment, I guess, behind innovation and strive to be the upfront out of this business and to build a better life for our future. Well, a lot of discussion about it. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts or comments, please just put on the question and answer box below. We're gonna come back to you and we're gonna share and discuss at the end of the session. Yeah. Okay, so we heard anything, everything, and completed presentation from Lensing, the fiber producer. So within the circular loop, you have the producer, which is the first producer of the chain coming from Lensing. Let's move to the next chain, which is from the fabric mills, because the fiber couldn't be a garment or it couldn't be a textile without mills, right? The key connection from the fabric producer to the brands play a big contribution towards building the future of a sustainable fashion. So I would like to invite Mrs. Sarlita as the marketing manager of Lucky Tex in Indonesia to give us an introduction about Lucky Tex. What is Lucky Tex and what is their vision, together with Lensing's fabric mills partner and their view on sustainable fashion in Indonesia. Mrs. Sarlita, are you safe and sound and healthy now?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you, Dino?
You look fabulous today.
Thank you.
Yes, Mrs. Sarlita, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Dino. Hi, everyone. Thank you, ICEF, for having me today to share you a brief introduction about PT Lucky Tex Group. Let's start with the first slides. Is it coming? Yeah, okay. Next slide, please. Yeah, okay. PT Lucky Tex Group is an integrated fabric mills, which is located nearby Jakarta. We have our own spinning, weaving, and finishing, which is included the dyeing and the printings. All those units located are in Cikarang. Next, please. In our spinning facility, this is our spinning facilities where we made the yarn. We have used our latest machinery from Germany, Swiss, and also Japan. This machine helps us to increase the overall efficiency in productions. We have wider up our capability in producing multi types of yarn, and of course to increase the capacity in yarn production. And as of now, currently our yarn capacity is 9,600 yarn tons per year. Next. In our weaving facilities, we also use the latest Toyota high-speed air jet loops and Carl Mayer in warping and sizing machine. With higher efficiency by using this machine, we have increased the capacity in our weaving units from 25 million to 36 million a year. We also do export the raw material, or as we know, as a grade fabric, to multi-countries, starting from a basic plain wave to Dobi, satin, twill, and PK. Next. And here are our printing facilities. Printing is our core strength, supported by the latest technology in rotary screen printing and digital printing. We offer eco-friendly and conscious products in our range of fabrics. Our manufacturing units has an advanced wastewater treatment facility that converts effluent into a fresh water. We attempt to positively contribute to the environment by using sustainable raw material, reducing water consumption, and recycling the waste. Next. In our dyeing facilities caters various customers from overseas markets. We are entirely committed, again, to helping your business succeed by offering top-notch quality dyeing combined with a quick turnaround time. Okay, in the next slides, I would like to take all of you to have a short virtual visit to our factory. Let's start the video. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So let's go up with our product range. Our product range is, our fabric is focusing on natural cellulose-based fabric. We can do a very light and sheer fabric, like starting with 50 GSM, like normally we use for scarf, for ladies blouse, in silk, in rayon, in viscose, in tencel. And also we can make a bottom weight fabric up to 2050 to 380 GSM. And to have added value on our products, we also offer an innovation in our fabric through special printing techniques and collaborating with our partners to create a high performance with more comfort, fashionable, and durable textile effect in various textile categories. Next, please. And we also have started the initiative to have a circular production in our manufacturing units. We have implemented the wastewater treatment by recycling the waste and use in our machinery maintenance, like I explained in the previous slides. And in the energy sides, we are in the process also to replace our energy source with the renewable source. And of course, in the product-wise, our R&D team keep doing the innovation and develop more sustainable products. Next, please. And if you ask me where PT Lakitex as one of the key players in the sustainable fashion industry as of today, I would like to share you that with a very strong collaboration with Lenzing and H&M and also Lakitex, we've been able to convert around 3 million meters of a conventional viscose to a sustainable viscose called EcoVero from Lenzing. For H&M Kids joggers, jogger pants, as you can see the design in the screen, we for the whole season 3, and we are expecting to do the same for season 5. And in the next slides, I would like to show you more sustainable products that we also done for other local brands. Next. Okay, next.
Made this. Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation. I return back to Dino.
Yes, thank you so much, Miss Sarita. It was amazing presentation that we really know that it's all integrated, not only mills, but you can do a lot of things, right? And Lucky Text.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for your contribution in sustainable fashion. If you really wanted to talk to Mrs. Sarita again, if you have any questions or comments, please put your questions down below on the question and answer box so we can have a big discussion at the end of the session. We can see the support out of the integrated fabric mills such as Lucky Text. It will be very difficult for brand owners if there is no one like fabric mills like that. And we have to have more access to sustainable and eco-friendly materials, fibers, and mills. So in this production chain, Lucky Text plays very important role to connect lensing and fiber producer to the brand players, which is similar role to the next panelists. Again, if you have any questions, comments, you can put it down below, yeah? On the next speaker, very, very important speaker today, I would like to invite Mrs. Karina Sugarda as Communications and Sustainability Manager of H&M Indonesia to give her outlook regarding sustainable fashion in Indonesia, H&M goals for the future, and H&M partnership with Lensing. Miss Karina?
Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
safe and good, secure. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm perfect. How are you?
Great. Good. Surviving during this pandemic and crazy time. But doing well.
Extended lockdown, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, heading to you.
Okay. So thank you everyone for joining the conversation today. I'd like to also thank ICEF and all of our speakers is here as well. So here is a little bit from H&M. I think many of you know about the H&M group. Next. We're a family of 8 brands. We operate in 74 markets across the globe and have an online presence in 53 markets. We have 53,000 employees, where over 2,000 are here in Indonesia with 50 stores and in the market for 8 years now. And we're one of the largest fashion retailers in the world. Next. We actually have a long history. We were founded in 1947 by Erling Persson, who had a really simple idea. So at that time, fashion was tailor-made, and it was expensive and available to only quite a small number of people. So he wanted to democratize to make something that would be available and affordable to many more people. So he started to ready to wear collections. He bought them, make his designs, cut out the middlemen to lower the costs. And as prices went down, his business grew. More and more people were able to buy the clothes that they really wanted. And even though that is more than 70 years ago, that is pretty much the same business idea that we have today, but with one important difference. Next. We don't only want to make fashion, but sustainable fashion available and affordable to many people. Next. What is then sustainable fashion? I'm sure all of you here in the meeting are wearing clothes that you like and are comfortable, and that's great. And I also hope that you feel good about the clothes that you wear, because that is ultimately what fashion is all about. Next. But in the making of these clothes, we require a lot of resources like chemicals, raw materials, water, and energy use. Next. But they've also been able to being made by someone and thereby contributed to jobs and incomes for a number of people and their families. Looking only at our suppliers, for example, they employ more than 1.5 million people across their businesses. Next. Now, the environmental impacts for a crowd as big as everyone in this meeting is not that dramatic, but if we look at the population today, which is around 7.9 billion people, and it's constantly growing, we know that we are consuming more resources than what the planet can afford. And looking at only climate, our industry alone represents approximately 10% of global emissions today. So this pretty much summarizes the challenges that not just we, but the whole fashion industry needs to solve. Next. How can we continue to provide fashion for people to enjoy, to create job opportunities and social developments, but doing all of these within the planetary boundaries? So now we believe that the only way to do this is to change the system that we are in, to move into one that is circular, that is climate positive, and enables jobs and social development that have positive impacts on the people along the value chain. So getting there is difficult. it's a difficult job for us, but we have set a very clear direction, and we have a clear strategy and have some ambitious goals to take us along the way. Next. H&M sustainability focus is divided into 3 parts. Leading the change. This is where we drive innovation and transparency in order to amplify our positive impact in collaboration with others. Another one is circular and climate positive. Here we build circularity into every stage of our value chain, from the design, the materials that we use, the processes, as well as how our customers care and dispose products, in which we aim a garment recycling program in place. With this, we ultimately aim to have a climate positive value chain, a circular approach to how products are made and used, and to use only recycled or other sustainably sourced materials. And the last one is fair and equal. We provide equal opportunities to all, where essentially it is what it means, which is fair jobs for all, reward sustainable actions, as well as inclusion and diversity. Next. Of course, we have set goals for all of the 3 main focuses. However, before that, let me share our numbers in 2020. So here you can see we have become number 1 in the Fashion Revolution's Fashion Transparency Index. 64.5% of our materials are from recycled or more sustainable sources, where our goal is that by 2030, 100% of the materials used are from recycled or more sustainable sources. This includes, of course, recycled polyester, ecovero, viscose, and of course, tencel lyocell. We have 14% reduction in packaging. Our goal is that 100% of packaging is made from recycled or other sustainably sourced material by 2030. And of course, 100% of our cotton that we use is organic, recycled, or sourced in a more sustainable way. This was, in fact, our goal for 2020, and we have already achieved that goal. So those are what the numbers that we have shared in 2020 and what we have done. But now we have several ambitious goals for a sustainable fashion future, and we will continue to do so. These are the main ones that may be suitable for our discussion today. So this is our goal for 2025, where you can see that all packaging designed and produced by the H&M Group will be reusable, recyclable, or composted. All wood used in our products and packaging will be made of Forest Stewardship Council certified materials or fibers made from other alternative resources. And of course, to only source from producers of viscose and other MNC fibers that have good environmental practices. It is now 2021, we have 4 more years, and we are on our way to achieve that goal for 2025. For 2030, 100% of our packaging will be made from recycled or other sustainably sourced materials, with a preference for recycled materials, as well as 100% of our products are recycled or other sustainably sourced materials that we use for all of our garments in the stores. Right now in 2021, we are at 64.5%. We have some time to go, and we are very positive that it can be achieved. In 2040, of course, our main goal is to achieve a climate positive value chain, one that creates an overall positive impact on the climate. Next. Now, in order to reach our goal, one of the crucial elements is for us to collaborate with partners who have the same vision in building a sustainable fashion future. All of the innovations and materials we use can be seen in all of our campaigns. There is a campaign that we actually did, as Pat Winston also talked about, Tencel X Refibra, which we have already used in our Conscious Exclusive Autumn-Winter 2019 collection. It's really nice. And for spring 2021, we took another bold step in our sustainability efforts, where we scale new innovative materials such as AgraLoop biofiber, as well as using materials such as organic cotton, organic linen, recycled polyamide, and of course, tencel lyocell. So here is just a bit of our spring 2021 collection. On the left side, you can see here, the first picture is a hoodie made from hemp seed, AgraLoop biofiber. The shorts here on the second image here, and also in the next image, the black dress is made from tencel lyocell blended with organic linen. The H&M Group mainly uses tencel lyocell fibers, which are made from sustainable wood pulp produced in a closed loop process. And lyocell feels very similar to cotton, but needs a lot of less water to manufacture and requires no or very few pesticides. I mean, if sustainable fibers were given medals, Tencel lyocell would be up for gold. And of course, all of the sustainable materials used in the H&M garments can be seen in the green hang tags that are in store in order to make it easier for our customers to see what type of materials is used in all of the garments that you can see in the stores. And of course, we have a care label there as well. Basically, it shows you how to take care of your clothes. We always want our customers to prolong the life of your garments, and that is really something that we would want all our customers to do, which is why we have a care label. And that's something that maybe not everybody looks at. I mean, sometimes I don't even look at it, but if you see the care label, it says how to wash it, whether you can use hot water or cold water. Everything is already in the garments to make it easier for our customers. Next. So I hope from this really brief presentation, you're able to understand where we are in our circular business model. But of course, I think what's really important here is the system that we are after needs systematic and industry-wide change that really goes beyond what a single company can do. Now, we may be only the world's largest fashion retailer, but we only represent 2% in the market. To have a truly fully sustainable fashion industry, we need the other 98% to join in. And that's why collaboration is so important. It's already happening to a large extent. We're proud members of many associations and initiatives where we work with others. But in the future, this needs to happen faster. It needs to happen bigger. And we also need to go beyond the industry border. And that's why it's so exciting for me to be here and be a part of the connectivity economy conversation, so that, you know, we can learn from you and share what we do and find out how we can ultimately work together. Next. So we've made a journey and we're really happy with where we are and proud of the achievements, but we're also humble about the fact that we have a long way to go. But we believe with the size and the scale that we have, our ambitions, and also having a long-term perspective, we really can be part of leading the change for this industry and show that we can be a part of the solution rather than the problem. So before I end my presentation, let me leave you with this quote from Robert Swan. He is an environment activist who dedicated his life in protecting Antarctica and the planet at large. He said, next, "The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that someone else will save it." And that's it from us at H&M. I think the key here is, of course, making sure that we collaborate more, and we also thrive and push for innovation. We can't do it alone, and that is why we have all of our partners, and we need to do more for the future. Thank you.
Okay. It was really sharp on the end, because everybody takes their own parts, everybody have their own position in the chain. And if you fight alone, if you think that one person or one corporation would change the world, of course, it's impossible. Everybody ultimately need to gather together hand in hand, as you mentioned before. Okay, we'll get back to you, because a lot of interesting questions going to the H&M group. And thank you so much, Karina, for the presentation. We'll get back to you on the discussion section. Perfect. It was really, really amazing for me, honestly, because everybody have their own part. Everybody takes their own position to have an integrated movements to save the Mother Earth. It's not only this from the grassroots, it's also from the top to bottom. For sharing that, what H&M did step by step going to achieve such a big commitment, it is really important for a company to view and understand what is their current practice, to start not to think just only for profit, but also for the sustainability, but also shifting towards sustainable business model. Business model is important. To have a guide and impact towards people behind it, around it, all the stakeholders, and also do good towards the environment as well. H&M Indonesia has started that sustainability initiative and their conscious collection. We shall follow their shift towards more and more and more sustainable corporation. Very exciting. For me, honestly, I'm waiting for all the initiative. Looking at the H&M goals on the context of sustainable fashion and eco-friendly materials, hopefully we can see more and more collaboration between Lenzing, Lucky Tex, and H&M Indonesia in the near future. We're gonna wait on the special collection, that's particular special collection, yeah? Okay, on our last, more exciting panelist, because we're talking we're talking something relevant with us on today's event. Not only from the panelists from global and international brands and big corporation as of today, we also have our brand representative from Indonesia, Ms. Nicolin Patricia Malina, photographer and founder of NPM Photography, creative director of Lanivati. Lanivati is a local ready-to-wear clothing brand that is started by Nicolin. The raw materials of Lanivati collection uses stencil material made from natural fibers. And today, Nicolin will share her first-hand experience in using stencil from her label. Here is her magnificent initiative, Lanivati. Yes, there was such a beautiful, tranquil, and whew, the visual are amazing. Miss Nicolin Patricia Malina, creative director of Lanivati. Hi, Nick. Are
Hi.
you?
Hi, Dino.
I couldn't see your appearance.
That is the problem which sorry everyone. That is the problem which I'm trying to resolve right now.
Yeah, we're all waiting for like your iconic look.
Oh, 1 second. Let me trying to wait.
This is such an entry. This is like
Such an entry, like, right? Dramatic.
Mysterious.
Wait 1 second. I'm sorry everyone.
It's all right. How are you today? Are you feeling safe and healthy?
Yeah, thank God. Are you?
Yes, I feel super exciting. Okay. Perfect. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
Finally, you're here. Such an entry because everybody feels like okay, it started to get sleepy, but then Nicolin made an entry. Okay, Nick, heading out to you.
Thank you, Dino. And hello, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank ICEF for giving me a chance to share about my journey with Lanivati. And I would like to thank Lenzing for being our partner since the first day of the launching of the brand and all the speakers today. Hello, my name is Nicolin Patricia Malina. I'm a photographer. I'm the founder of NPM Photography. And since 2019, I am also the creative director for Lanivati. Next. Lanivati was born as an answer to my needs of comfortable, durable, and ethical travel clothing without sacrificing style. We know that travel attires used to conjure images of clothes that are anything but sleek, but we love practicality and functionality as much as we love quality and tailored pieces. Next. So Beyond Borders collection, our first collection, was created as the answer for the kind of outfits I wish I had on those travel days as a photographer. Versatile clothing that blended style with function. I do think it's really important that women feel comfortable and powerful at the same time. That's probably comes from being a woman and creating for women. It is truly our biggest strength. Thus, as you have seen on the video introduction that Dino just played before, our first collection, Beyond Borders, was created. Next. As Pa Winston already kindly mentioned on his presentation, Lanivati introduced our brand and launched our very first capsule collection on January 2020 in Jakarta with the Beyond Borders collection, fashion show, and art installation, video installation. The art installation consists on how our garment was made, and it was in an intimate media and fashion enthusiast gathering. Next. The event was supported by our partners, Tencel Indonesia and Harper's Bazaar Indonesia. We are proud to announce that we were one of the first small local responsible brand that managed to partner with a prominent Indonesian fashion magazine. Next. Lanivati's second collection, Cabin, was launched mid-2020 in the middle of the new normal. As we know, addressing the needs of women for stylish and comfortable outfits to wear on a new lifestyle with a renewed value of practicality and comfort that we women are placing on. Cabin collection was the result of pushing new cuts and giving new life to our existing material from the Beyond Borders collection. We reinvented them, repurposed them, and made them feel new. Next. Lanivati's special collection Raya was launched in 2021 this year, consisting of a few limited edition collection key items. We created everything using our existing material, and we also repurposed old vintage buttons from the 80s. Next. And our last collection, Signature, was launched shortly after. We introduced our first 100% soft cotton knits in this collection, as well as 100% tencel suit. Every piece of this collection was created handmade in Jakarta in our own workshop with long-lasting quality. That was a bit about our collection that we already launched. So we have in total 4 collections since our launch in 2020. Now I want to talk a bit about our key values and why and how I would start this brand. I've been working in fashion for 13 years as a fashion photographer. And that's long enough for the industry as a whole to put a giant question mark in my mind. From the textile manufacturing, high turnover rate, cut-off waste, to the factory working condition. We read about it, we heard about it, we knew about it. And I personally, and everyone in Lanivati, believe strongly that every brand, every fashion brand, or every brand, lifestyle brand in general, should ideally be ethically made, responsible, and sweatshop free. I think that's where our mission in Lanivati comes in. We do the best that we can to set an example that you can make better choices as a customer and as a brand owner. You can love fashion, you can make beautiful things that are accessible to everyone without exploiting human or the earth in the process. On creating, we always stick to these 3 values, the 3 key values: slow and timelessness in our design, ethical in the way we work, and responsible in the material that we use. Next, we take a mindful and slow approach to design, producing only what is needed. 80% of our collection is created handmade in our workshop. Our limited production quantity means that we can reduce wasteful extra manufacturing, experiment with existing fabric to create new cuts, and ensure that each piece is thoughtfully made. Producing within our company also ensure the clothing is made with the highest standard for worker pay, safety, and respect. Next. We aim to build the garments you will want to wear for years and years to come with a quality that ensures you can. We design each piece with one goal in mind, for that piece to be your favorite and for it to last a lifetime. Every piece has gone through performance and durability tests, and we don't consider trends in designing our collection. Just like Mr. Rian from Green Narration Foundation mentioned earlier, a really important fact that fashion waste problem has caused a massive damage in our earth. So the game is to avoid the landfill, not to fill it. Next. We make a long-term commitment to minimize harm to our people and the planet in every part of the journey, in every little step that we take. We take great care in the selection of our supplier very seriously. We make sure we research everything about our manufacturer suppliers, vendors before partnering with them. Safe working conditions, fair wages, sustainable livelihoods, and waste management standards is a forefront priority throughout our whole supply chains. Next. We commit to source our material with environmental responsibility top of mind, while also staying true to the premium quality, comfort, and wearing ease. Our initiative also includes using biodegradable packaging. Next. We use these three fibers that we consider responsible: tencel, cotton, organic cotton, and linen. I'm going to talk about each of them. We make over 80% of our garments from fabric with sustainable benefit, either because it's minimal impact of the environment or the durability or longevity. Okay, Paul Winston has explained about our favorite material on the previous presentation, and I think that it will be more complete than my own explanation about Tencel. As I mentioned before, since the launch of the brand, Lanifati has proudly partnered with Lansing that creates fiber from wood pulp, a 100% renewable resource. Next. Which means at the end of the life cycle, the fiber can re-enter the ecosystem, thus nature returns to nature. But I think the technicalities in this area, closed-loop production, has been explained better than by Mr. Winston. Next. But from the viewpoint of a creator, I love the fact that Tencel is a versatile fabric, versatile material, and can be combined with a wide range of textile for the fabric aesthetic, performance, and functionality. And as a woman who loves fashion myself, I personally love Tencel for its comfort and ease to wear. On this slide, you can see all the Tencel made up 80% of the whole Beyond Borders collection. Next. And for our latest signature collection, Tencel still take the main spotlight as our customer favorite as well. Next. Our next favorite material is cotton and organic cotton. We are committed to use organic cotton over conventional cotton wherever possible in our collection. Next. On our signature 2021 collection, we also introduced our first knitwear collection made from 100% cotton yarn using traditional or manual knitting method, partnering with PT Denindo Mitra Global, who specialize in using this labor-intensive method for more than 20 years. Next. A lot of our fibers that we use was also blended with linen because we love its quality being strong, versatile fiber, and its ability to withstand high temperatures, which is perfect for Indonesia, and absorbs moisture without holding bacteria. We use the blend of linen with tencel and linen with cotton and everything else. Next. Everything from our cabin collection was made with tencel and linen at most. Next, we strive to use 98% of our material and recycle any remnants in order to keep our waste to a minimum. We ensure all end fabric or roll fabrics and excess fabric cuttings are kept, and we reuse them for sampling, packaging, or production. Next. Okay. We understand that there is no way to save the planet by selling a dress. We know that, after all, the most sustainable thing is not to create anything new. We know that. We realize that our planet is in danger for climate change, and we aim to use all the resources we have, our business, our voice, our investment, our imagination to do something about it. On 2020, we made a roadmap of doing better in all three areas of people, planet, and message, and we proudly can state by the end of 2020, we managed to tick all of them. From working with suppliers, 70% of our suppliers certified by Department of Labor or Depnaker, ethically certified, and also from our manufacturer to our shipping agency even. For the planet, we have incorporated 90% biodegradable fibers and 100% biodegradable packaging. For message, we constantly have raised awareness about responsible fashion and mindful consumption. Next. We hope to use our voice in the industry not only about consumption behavior for customer, but also to future brand owners. On February 2020, we launched a fashion exhibition and presentation in Jakarta. This exhibition was a platform to inform both fashion enthusiasts and future brand owners about the power of passion, purpose, and craftsmanship. We created 3 days of hard-hitting talks about sustainable fashion together with our partners, Tencel Indonesia and LaSalle Indonesia. Next. We plan to keep this event ongoing in the near future as it is a really good way to raise awareness, whether via digital or offline events. Next. As Macarena earlier mentioned, we believe that by combining effort collectively, we can make a major difference and achieve a positive turn to the fashion industry. As a small, local, responsible brand, we proudly partner and join forces with Harper's Bazaar Indonesia, amongst other fashion media, to build even bigger connection with and raise awareness to the fashion-conscious market. In 2021, using our voice, we collaborated with Pinterest Indonesia, talking about sustainable fashion in an informational content accessible to international users. Next. This is the roadmap that we have for this year, and we're still working towards that. We cannot pride ourselves as the model of a responsible company. We are a small brand, and we still have a really long way to go on this journey. But we proudly took the first step to realize our environmental and social responsibilities, and we began to act on them. Like other things in human life, it began with one step, a small step that leads to another. Thank you.
It was pretty. Oof! I couldn't really stand your visual, which because as a photographer, you are mixed with a producer. Everybody should know that a really good visual, a really good presentation, a really good exhibition could change people's mind, right? You have a lot of something to educate to people, something to educate to the public, and you did it in your own way.
I really hope so. Thank you.
Perfect. There's a lot of questions definitely from our audience. They can write it down on the question box below, and we'll come back to you again a bit later, Nicolene. After I wrap it up and get some questions down there.
Thank you, Dino.
Thank you, Nick. Amazing ideas, and you are really taking part on this industry to be more or less damaging, yeah? So what I can summarize on the presentation, that Planivati has a long-term commitment to eco-friendly practices such as timeless design, slow and mindful production, and zero waste. I think your initiative includes such using sustainable materials, which is minimize the environmental impacts, minimizing the number of synthetic components going into your clothing, and introducing manufacturing techniques to reduce carbon footprints. Bear that in mind for now, start to be aware that people are actually wearing what kind of materials, what kind of textile, how does it produce, and what is actually happening behind the closed doors. There's a lot of questions, a lot of discussions. You can still put your questions and your ideas, comments down on the question and answer box below. I would like to invite again everybody to join me again back on camera. We will go into the discussion on the Q&A session, yeah? Thank you so much for everyone that's sharing their views and thoughts, but let's have some questions. I personally have a lot of questions. There is a lot of also joining audience are putting into the Q&A box. I would like to ask several questions before we open up to your questions, yeah? Okay, first of all, the first question goes to Mr. Winston. Mr. Winston? Yep. It's Winston. Okay, cool. Okay, first question. I think first and foremost, everybody would ask, what is the future of sustainable fashion from your view, and where do you see Lenzing put the feet and contribute in this part?
Okay, so, well, for sure, sustainable fashion is on the rise. Customer awareness and customer understanding about sustainability is surely growing. And this gives a good positive indication that this industry is also growing. We see from small startup brands until big international brands. There are many practices are being developed, and there are many supported being given towards development of sustainable fashion. Here, the motto we have in Lenzing that we work beyond fiber. So it's not only producing and selling fiber, but we work beyond that, beyond fiber. We take the responsibility for a better, cleaner environment for our future generation, our children, grandchildren generation. So it is a continuous development, a continuous approach. And we in Lansing, we will continue providing sustainable raw material for these industries. We are agent of change. Together with our supply chain partner here, we will continue spreading the message. This is not an easy part. We will continue sharing our knowledge. We will continue also to promote our social well-being. And we will encourage everyone here in the webinar, in the audience, to think sustainable, to act responsible, and come out with an innovative products, which is friendly for the nature. And in the end, it will give value-added product for us as a consumer. I think that's all from my side.
Yeah,
Dino.
yeah. You take part as a supplier. You take part as an innovation producer. Yeah, not only producing a good materials, but you keep on innovating in this industry. I think that's the most important part. But talking about well-being, talking about people now staying at home during this pandemic, and people are realize that they need to be more sustainable due to a lot of things happening in the world. As an industry player, what are the future plans of Lansing to develop and build more sustainable and responsible Indonesian fashion industry?
Okay. Firstly, we are under pandemic situation. Of course, safety and health of our employees are our number one priority. Pandemic will still be around. It will not gone in 2 weeks or months. So it will still be around. Pandemic should not stopping us to grow, to innovate, to improve. Pandemic, however, teach us that we need to be more creative in whatever we are doing. Lansing, of course, as a company, as a corporate, we are continue with our commitment. Even during this pandemic, we do not stop to grow. We are continue expanding our production capacity. So from Tencel Greenfield in Thailand, which will operate by end of this year, to converting our existing facility in China and Indonesia to be able to produce sustainable fiber such as Tencel and Ecovero. That is from us. However, locally on the ground in Indonesia, together with the local supply chain partner, like for example here Lukitech, we will continue hand in hand to produce or to develop and produce a new innovative fabrics made from Tencel fiber. And this will give more choices for brands and retailers to select which fabric product is suitable for their collection. Of course, we also continuously looking for mutual partnership, and also we are continuously looking for collaboration with brands and retailers, because only with collaborative partnerships we will grow our fashion industry in Indonesia.
Yeah, very crucial out of what you mentioned just now, out of your presentation, which is integrated collaboration through all the partners, which is you produce the fiber, and then you have the mills, and then you have the users, and then you have the consumers, and it's needed to be circular. Okay, thank you, Mr. Winston. We'll come back to you in a bit. I'm going to relate with that an integration between Lansing and other partners, which is the first partners is the mills and an integrated producer out of your textile and materials. Mrs. Sarlita, are you there? Yep. Yes, I have a question for Mrs. Sarlita. From your business point of view, how do you see this potential sustainable fashion in Indonesia and those collaboration that Mr. Winston just said? I think you have it still on mute.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You're
Can
up.
you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think first of all, I'm very agree that Indonesia itself is very potential market. And currently, I've been receiving many inquiry from local brands, which is asking for a new development for having more sustainable fabric. Not only to develop new product for them, but they also ask me to convert their existing fabric, which they've been using for years, to be more sustainable fabric in terms of material, in terms of way of production, in terms of the softener that I use, something like that. So they just want to make more their brands more sustainable brands.
Okay.
So
So
I think yes,
it's
I
kind of
think
support.
yes. So I will yes, I think it's a very big potential in upcoming years for this
Okay,
sustainability.
so in the past years, a lot of users, a lot of users and a lot of brands are actually requiring such a limit of sustainability out of your production, out of your maybe your input resources. That is changed in the industry, was it?
Yes, kind of.
Perfect. So from Lucky Text, we have that initiative to change what goes into the mills and what's out into the mills, and the kind of water that you use, the kind of efficiency that you did in Lucky Text. I think that's supporting the whole ecosystem of sustainability.
Yes, correct.
Okay, I'll come back to you a little bit later, Mrs. Sarita. I have another question to Miss Karina for H&M Indonesia. Yes.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. A lot of questions, a lot of ideas in the mind, and H&M Indonesia has actually put some efforts, and H&M worldwide did a lot of things which H&M can deemed as a fast fashion brand. What are your efforts as a brand to shift towards more sustainable fashion? Step by step, maybe?
Well, we started out our collection to be more of a limited conscious collection in the beginning. And then we started thinking that if we really wanted to be more sustainable in terms of what we want to do in a collection, then it should be something that would be available to all. So what we did was we were able to scale the innovation and the production, which made it possible for everyone to enjoy a more sustainable fashion garment, and you can buy it in all of our stores. So this is one part that, of course, that you can see, as well as with all of our goals that we have already put into place, that we do want to make more sustainable garments, meaning that our goal in 2030 is 100%. And in 2021, we are now at 64.5%. This means basically that 64.5% of the garments that you can see in our stores are made from sustainable materials. It can be organic, it can be recycled, or it can be sustainably sourced. With having such an ambitious goal, this is where we would like to offer to our customers to be able to enjoy sustainable fashion, and that's our shift. And it has been our goal for quite some time now, but we are going into that direction. We feel that we are quite positive, seeing that the updates and all that we have done and the results. So
yeah, I think having you mention out of your presentation, out of the connectivity between your actions, it does really open up our minds. Actually, I mean, honestly, for me, it's opened up a lot of understanding on how H&M is taking part in this change. And having said, you said it's up to 64%. I didn't realize that yet for H&M. So we just need to come into the facts and figures and what big corporations has actually made change out of their business model. It's not only the materials, right? It's the whole business model.
that's correct.
Yeah, a lot more questions from the audience. Heading back to you, but there's one question for Miss Nicolin. Yes, Nick. For Nicolin, there's a question, very interesting question. Since you are the local brand, since you are the local brand has been using Tencel since the first collection, what made you choose Tencel in particular as the material, and how the partnership goes on with you?
Okay, thank you for the question, Dino. As I mentioned before in the presentation, as the creative director of Lanipati, who is in charge of all the design, I love the fact that Tencel is very versatile, can be combined with a wide range of fabric for the aesthetic, for the texture, and for the performance. It's very highly loved by our customers who seek comfort and ease to wear, but also who's seeking a luxurious feel on the fabric itself. And as a woman who loves fashion, as I said before, I personally love to wear Tencel-based garment every day. I'm wearing it right now. It's easy to take care of, it's moisture absorbing, and it doesn't wrinkle too much. We women love it. And to answer your question about our partnership with Tencel, it started because I think mostly because we both share the same vision on how we can do better in the fashion industry, not only within the end product itself, as Mr. Winston just said, beyond fiber. We both aspire to use our voices to keep raising awareness and sharing information. Joining hands with Lensing and Tencel Indonesia has enabled me and Lanifati to reach even wider audience for that.
Wow. So, as a creative director, because at the back of my mind, you create something beautiful, you create an art, right? So, Tencel and all of those sustainable materials supporting you to create something that you like, something that you wanted to create, it's not limiting you,
Correct.
right? So it doesn't limit you. It gives the structure, it gives the comfort, it gives whatever you see in a perfect output that out of your design, which reflected through pencil.
Exactly. Sometimes when you design and you want to devote everything and create it through a sustainable, responsible kind of way, sometimes you will face some limitation in what kind of fibers you should use for this kind of design. Sometimes you will want this kind of linen, and then it will become too structured, and Tencel has become the answer for that. Aside from 100% Tencel, you can also combine it with Tencel and linen to give the perfect cut, the perfect flow to the design itself. So
Okay, so wow, the commitment on doing sustainable process, the commitment of doing sustainable business model creates a creative director, first of all, fell in love and create out of the whole system. Because if someone wanted to go different direction than unsustainable design, which is you're definitely going to something in trend. You are producing something timeless. You are producing something adjustable for tropical weather, which very much in line with what Tencel produced. Yeah.
correct.
Okay, so I'm going to head to all of the questions down here. So I have compiled some of the questions. I have the question for Mr. Winston from Dian Probowati. Okay, hi, Miss Dian Probowati. For Mr. Winston, here's the question. Usually the product known as environmentally friendly costs more than ordinary product. How Lensing overcome this budget issue out of the producers, brands, and the people that can buy that?
Well, that understanding is surely have been around for several times. I can say that it is not entirely correct. So we are collaborating, working together hands in hands to create sustainable product. So the mindset that sustainable product or sustainable garment is expensive, well, maybe that was an old statement, but now is really a different story there. So have a look, really visit our Instagram account, pencil@indonesia.com as a pencil_Indonesia, and
Okay.
we are listing there photos of our collaboration, and you can see that they are all affordable prices there.
Okay, so not everything is expensive because the process is getting bigger and bigger. People are doing this economic circular economy, which is by the economy of scale, you can press down the costs. I think it's also related with all of the brands that using that particular fiber can press down the input resources, and then your particular fiber. People actually, all brands can access to your Instagram account and get the list of your mills, or getting in touch with you.
You can get us. You can contact us, direct message us, send us your question if you want to know more about how to collaborate with Tencel, with us, how to source fabric made from Tencel. Those are daily questions that we receive. So don't hesitate to contact us, and we will try to help you and guide you from there.
Okay, perfect. We expect there is a lot more Nicolin, a lot more Lanivati goes on after watching this. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Winston. I head to Karina. I have two questions from Micheline Paulina. So, hi, Micheline Paulina. Hope you're still here. There's two questions for Mrs. Karina from H&M. The first question is how optimistic you are out of the 2025, 2030, 2040 roadmap out of H&M Group.
Okay, thank you for your question. We are quite optimistic. Of course, all of the goals that we have set for 2025, 2030, 2040, all of them has, of course, put in place. It was quite ambitious, but we are working towards that goal. If you can see from our packaging alone, where we said that we want to reduce by 2025, all of the packaging would be recyclable or compostable. Right now, in 2020, we have already achieved like minus 24% packaging in our plastic packaging, and we are a reduction of 14% in how we use more sustainable materials as well in the future. So looking at all of the progress that we have done, and of course we are optimistic as long as we have help from all of our partners, from our local government, our suppliers, and of course most importantly our customers. We are very optimistic that we will achieve all of those goals. Of course, all of the data, all of the steps, all of the updates can be seen on our website, hmgroup.com/sustainability, as well as all of our sustainability reports. All of the data you can see is there. So if you look at it and then you have any questions or anything, of course you can reach out to us. But looking at that alone, we are very optimistic on how we can achieve all of those goals.
Okay, so that particular goals is for H&M Indonesia or H&M Global as a group?
H&M as a group.
Okay, so what do you think about what happened in Indonesia? Are you also optimistic looking into your contribution in Indonesia?
Okay, let's just talk about how organic food started. So, I mean, people were talking about how it's really it's important to have it. It's just a fad. It's trendy. Everybody does it. But now, with how communication is seen on social media, how news travels really fast on the internet, people would understand that, oh, organic food is actually quite good for you. So I think in terms of how we are in Indonesia, it takes time and it takes understandings from different parties as well. So sometimes we only think about what we eat, but in the future, of course, you should think about what you wear, because it is an essential part of your everyday life. So talking about Indonesia, I think that's how we should see it. Any type of thing that is organic. Like, let's say 5 years ago, we're just all like, what? Organic, But now we strive to look for all these organic foods that are really good for us. So, I mean, we are optimistic. Yeah.
Makes sense. So the penetration of education, I think also that's very important. So people have, put their mind into perspective. I think that's crucial for Indonesia at the current situation.
100%. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I have questions for all the panelists. Thank you, Karina. I think that sums up for H&M. I have another question for all the panelists. This is a very interesting question from Maria Stephanie. Very critical. For all the panelists, maybe I can start, maybe Ms. Sarlita could help me with answer the first, as the first panelist to answer. How do we get into the middle line between sustainable fashion and customer sufficiency? People still need to fulfill their demands. People still need to fulfill their passion of fashion and all the sufficiency out of this retail and fashion industry. How do we get into middle line between sustainable fashion and their sufficiency?
Okay, I think Bapak Winston explained as earlier about that what do you say? The mindset that the sustainable fashion is expensive, more expensive than the conventional fashion. I would say I'm quite agree with Bapak Winston that nowadays, first of all, we have to change that mindset itself. It's become very expensive because the demand is still rare, and the source itself, it's still not everybody can do it. But once we goes together, like with the strong collaboration, like what we are doing right now, when the sources become very familiar with others, I believe that the cost can be reduced.
Yeah, makes sense. I think the more conferences, forums like this, and educational forums like this could also push brand owners, fashion students, and fashion producers to realize that they need to step in, and it's not expensive, but we need to start in a bigger scale. I think that's what you just mentioned, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Nicolene, can you have a point out of this question? How do you get into the line between sustainable fashion and customer sufficiency?
Well, I do think that keep raising, sharing education for customer about mindful consumerism. It's also very, very important.
Okay.
So working
strong word, mindful consumption.
Exactly. And I think working together with all the key people in the industry to just keep talking about this, and we don't stop, not just people, not just brand owners, not just fashion students, influencers, everyone, because you don't need another pair of jeans every month. And if we keep talking about that, then it will get there. It will, well, it's small step, but it shouldn't, because it's very urgent that there shouldn't be any month that we just stop talking about it. And also responsibility for brand owners as well, because you can always choose to follow the trend and just keep creating and launching new collection every week probably, but do you actually want to I'm talking about smaller local brands who choose that way, but do you actually want to supply that as well? Do you actually want to compete using quantity, because that rat race will never finish? And if there's more people actually educating customers that buying quality garments, buying quality lifestyle products will end up being cheaper than buying a lower quality, then I'm not saying that problem is solved, but it's pretty simple logic actually.
It's a point of entry, right? It's a point of entry when people start to ask when they are about to buy something. So from your side, it's mindful consumption, mindful materials, which is mindful buying, mindful purchasing. And also from your side, as a creative director, mindful produce
Exactly.
mindful packaging, mindful everything's supposed to be mindful, and you ask what was the impact out of your production to go to your stakeholders, not only for now but years after now.
Exactly, because
Yeah,
it's really easy to just choose them for future brand owners or for smaller local brands. It's really easy to go through the other way, which is keep creating lower quality stuff, cheaper stuff, which sells really quick. But everyone else is doing that as well, and
yeah,
if we just
yeah.
keep on having this kind of culture going on every day, then there is no 100 brands or 100 customer that can stop it. So I think it's our responsibility, all of us, not just
Yeah,
brand
it
owners.
starts. It starts with us.
It
It
starts with
starts with us in any position as we are now. You are from as an influencer, as a photographer, as a creative director, and maybe I'm from the PR side, or I'm from the journalist. I'm from any position you are. I think we can start with mindful consumption and education.
correct.
Very interesting answer, Nicolene. I head to Karina.
So,
Hi.
yes, hi.
What is your take points out of this discussion?
Yeah, I also wanted to add on as well that H&M, we offer fashion and quality at the best price in a sustainable way, and you can see all of the products that we have in our stores. But what we really value is how to take care of the garments. I know that garment we can only do as much as after the consumer, after they buy the garments, and then what happens to it afterwards. We have our garment recycling program in place. It's now on pause because of the COVID situation, but we feel like it's very important that the customers know that it is our goal is also, of course, to make sure that the garments that you wear last longer. How do you add the life expectancy or the age of the garment that you are wearing? Which is why we have our care labels in place where you know how to take care of your garments. We also ask anybody who, of course, have the ability to hand me downs to your cousins, or you can give it to another part of your family, or you can donate the clothes. Any ways in which you can actually add the age of the garment itself is also very important. I mean, for one thing, in our baby department, all of our kids' garments, we have a technology where the baby grows with the clothes. So we have clothes that can actually go from
Yep.
newborn until how many months, because we've had this technology where the clothes actually grow with the baby, so
Yep.
that
Yep.
means you don't have to buy all the time, you don't have to buy clothes every like 1 month. So we offer a lot of these solutions. All of them can be on our website as well, and I think that's also very important that we ask customers what they need and give them options on what they can use and what they need.
So the customers have the integrity to get their information. Customers get their belonging into the system, onto the full information out of big corporations, such as you can access H&M through website, and you goes down the information to the care tag, right? On the care tag, you can see how it's produced, how to maintain them into a longer period of time.
Exactly.
Perfect. So H&M did their part. Lucky Text did their part. Nicolene have her own view. How about from Lensing? Where do you stand between the line out of sustainable fashion and customer sufficiency, Mr. Winston?
Well, I think there was the question. This question is coming from Maria Stefani, correct? If I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes,
So
Maria.
I think the answer lies in yourself, Maria Stefani. So we are here only sharing our insight, our opinion, but then the one who can make decision and action is back to us again. So I mentioned earlier about think sustainable, act responsible. Before your garment purchase, maybe you can think of, do we really need this? Do I really need this? Nicolene shared a very interesting presentation that her collection is timeless. So yeah, that collection will not age only for this season. Maybe the next coming year, it is still there and it still become a trend. And you just need to be creative in padu padan. I don't know in English. So just
Mix and match. Mix and match.
Mix and mix of your accessories with your garments there, and there you go. You will have a new fresh look, and also be responsible. Think what will happen. What will I do with the garment that I do not use anymore? What happened to those threads? Shall I recycle? Shall I give them away, throw it away, or upcycle? So this is also part of our consideration when we want to purchase a new garment, in my opinion.
Yeah. So it's getting back to consumer responsibility and consumer behavior to realize that trends, it's not always you need to follow. You don't have to follow the trend, but actually you can create your own trend through mix and match, and realizes what you really need and what reflects your personality out of the garments and out of the materials, like what Nicolene just said, comfortability, the structure, how related you are with the materials. I think being mindful from lensing also produce everything that can be adjusted into garments, can be adjusted into textile, which also follows consumer likeness, consumer, the passion out of your the design based on Tencel and any brands that you follow, right?
Well summarized, Dino.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Winston. I have last question from. There's a lot of questions. This is very exciting discussion, honestly, and never-ending discussion for me. Honestly speaking, a lot of questions. But I have one more question from Miss Salin Polina. Miss Salin Polina for Lucky Text, Miss Sarita. Okay, this is also my question. Is it possible nowadays to make a fabric or create a garment or create a fabric 100% sustainable from the beginning until the end? Is it possible?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, from your experience and from your expertise, from what you have in the company, you say it's 100% possible.
Yes, we done it.
Okay, can you share a little bit a glimpse of what was the process of 100%? What do you call as 100% sustainable?
Okay, like I explained in my previous PPT that we've done the jogger pants for H&M kids.
Okay.
We've been doing it for like 5 seasons or 4 seasons. But starting 2019, we already start converting the order from the 100% conventional rayon. I think 2018 we just starting with 20% of the quantities we're converting from the conventional to sustainable. But then by times like 2019 and I think we already completed 100% converting from the conventional viscose to 100% EcoVero.
Okay, so you've done your part very well. You've done your part from creating the fiber into garments, and within that process, you can say it's 100% sustainable and 100% safe for the earth. Yes. Thank you so much, Ms. Sarlita. I think that's really opened up a lot of our thinking, really opened up a lot of understanding, and widen our horizon. What's actually happening in Indonesia? We step not too far, but then we step ahead already. Because if you just getting into the business, you wanted to get sustainable, you really wanted to connect with these people. Of course, from the beginning, from the fiber onto the brands. Thank you so much for Mr. Winston from Lensing. Thank you so much, Mrs. Sarlita from Lucky Text. Thank you so much, Mrs. Karina from H&M Indonesia. And thank you, Nicolin from Lanivati. Yes, okay, there was the whole discussion. I'm truly sorry because we don't have much time to answer all of the questions, but your questions has been recorded and will be answered through personal channels. You can always talk to them. Let me get you to the context a little bit later. Such a thrilling discussion, magnificent understanding, and really widened my horizon. Personally, I can open up my eyes and now understand what actually happens in Indonesia in particular, because that's always a question. Want it to be sustainable, but it's a little bit westernized, a lot of westernized ideas, but how about Indonesia to get into sustainable fashion? Thank you everyone that has submitted the question, but unfortunately we have run out of time. Just to wrap it up from our amazing panelists and corporations and brands, we know and understand what has been done in the fashion industry from their point of view. Now, I think Mr. Winston just summarized it very sharp. It's now for us to take part. Keep yourself informed and mindful and ask what kind of efforts from brands and corporations has been done from their ethical and sustainable practices. So you have to really try to understand how the brand just practice their sustainability. Small things, such as checking the tag on your clothing before you buy them and start changing your shopping behavior and be more mindful. Because always remember, you have the highest power as a consumer, because the impact of mindful purchase will change the world. Thank you so much for all the panelists, for your insight and wonderful thoughts. Thank you for the audience that take part out of this event, all of your questions. Don't forget to follow, and if you want to have other questions or get in touch with them, go to Instagram at Tansel_Indonesia, at luckytext.id, and NP Malina on Instagram. Okay, Tansel_Indonesia, at luckytext.id, and at NP Malina on Instagram, as well as at HM Indonesia _ on Twitter. At HM Indonesia on Twitter for further inquiry. I think it summarizes, is wrapped up very well. I think a lot new understanding that we have now. I'm Dino Augusto. I thank you so much for having me all the way until 4. Thank you so much, and maybe see you again next time. Bye guys, stay sustainable.
Thank you.
Hi, Dino. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.